christiangeekcentral.com.
Alright, so I've leveled up my people in Gloomhaven, and before I do the second adventure, or the second dungeon thing, I'm going to do a city event. So let's see what happens here. Alright, it says, relaxing for the evening at the Sleeping Lion, a shifty-looking man approaches you, hand outstretched. In it are a pair of pale white dice with crude marks scratched on them. Greetings, friends. You look like you could stand to liven things up a bit. Care for a quick game of bone dice with me? I'm sure we could make it interesting. His other hand pats a coin purse at his side. Alright, so my options are... Option A, play a game of dice with the man. It may prove to be a good time. And option B, refuse the game of dice. I don't know, refusing seems kind of boring, so I'm going with option A. Let's see what happens. Let's see, if your reputation is greater than... Does that mean greater than -6? That's what it looks like. Yeah, you can have... Okay, yeah, my reputation is greater than... Let's see. Yeah, greater than -6, okay. You get into the game, but after a few rounds, your enthusiasm wanes as the man displays a streak of luck that can only be described as uncanny. You leave the table empty-handed. Lose 5 gold each. That sucks. Well, hey, I only had 4 gold on one of my people and 2 gold on the other, so not a huge loss there. Let's see what would have happened. If my reputation was higher, then I would have picked up on the fact that he was cheating and gained 5 gold instead. If I would have refused the game of dice altogether, I would have gained 1 reputation. Cool. All right, I like that because there's an interesting outcome no matter what you choose. Rather than just like, no, nothing happens, you know. Not as fun. So yeah, okay. I will take the hit there. Good thing that I spent my money in town first. I bought each of my guys an iron helmet, which I'm very excited about. It says, when attacked, consider any 2 times attack modifier card the enemy draws to be a +0 modifier instead, which is awesome. You know, one thing that I really like about this is that it just sits on my noggin and it applies its effect, and that makes sense to me thematically. Whereas compare that to leather armor, thematically I really don't like this. It says when attacked, the attacker gains disadvantage on the attack, and then you kind of like have to exhaust this thing, and it only originally I was thinking that like it kind of recharges or refreshes at the end of any round. No. You got to do a long rest if you want that. I don't think a short rest will do it. Let me see here. Short illusion is going to cover the... Yeah, it's a long rest only that allows you to refresh this thing. That seems insane to me for something that you are wearing on your body. I'm sure it's balanced and just mechanically awesome, but thematically, I play this game and games like it for the theme, and thematically, I'm having trouble kind of seeing that. Alright, anyway, we are ready to go into the second part of this dungeon or mission or whatever it is, Barrow Lair. And I gotta remember some of these other stuff that I have, like my Spellweaver has minor power potion during your attack, add plus attack, a +1 attack to your entire attack action. I didn't use that last time because she had a like a battle goal of, or was it a scenario goal? It's like a battle goal, I think, is what you call it, where the whole time you're in a dungeon, you're supposed to try and adhere to a certain goal, and if so, you get to check a box toward gaining a perk. And I picked... I'm actually not sure if I'm supposed to, because these scenarios are linked, but I picked new battle goals anyway, so... let's see here. For Shadra, my Spellweaver, she got Protector this time, which says allow none of your character allies to become exhausted during this scenario. And I thought of the 2 that I drew that would be the better one. I do kind of see her, in addition to kind of being a distance damage dealer, hopefully, as being someone that'll be kind of a healer for Whisper. And Whisper is kind of becoming my unintended tank in some ways, which is a bit unfortunate. But we'll see if I can break her out of that mold. Maybe cheating and leveling up a little bit will allow me to play her a little more, in a way that's a little more fitting toward her theme. Hopefully that'll be the case. Opener. This is a Whisper's battle goal for this scenario. Opener: be the first to kill end monster during the scenario. So yeah, I am definitely going to have her kill end monster as soon as possible, and I think I can pull that off. So I think that's all the stuff that we need to... Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's the introduction to Barrow Lair. Let's see, requirements, first steps, party complete. Okay, so I've done that. The goal is to kill the bandit commander and all revealed enemies. The introduction reads, the stench of death and rotting flesh gets doors A, B, C, and D. I think that's the other column. The stench of death and rotting flesh gets thicker as you kick past the corpses of your foes and head deeper into the underground burial site. Guided by the muffled sounds of conversation, you find your way through the maze of crypts and burst into a small room full of hard-faced bandits, all with bows at the ready. They're clearly guarding something. You must be in the right place. Alright, so special rules says add 3 curse cards to each character's attack modifier deck as a scenario effect. Lame. Alright, so first we gotta take care of these stupid bandit archers. And let's see here, we've got Shadra going first with a lead of 7, and then Whisperer's gonna go with 12, and then the archers with 29. Alright, so starting with Shadra. Alright, she's gonna gather her arcane energies and fire off a mana bolt! Attack of 2, range of 3, so we're gonna go for this number 1 bandit archer right there, and let's see how that is modified. -1, okay, so that's not terrible, and there's no shield or any crap like that that she has to deal with, so bandit archer number 1 has got 1 damage there. And then she's going to use Reviving Ether to move. I don't know, maybe there's something in it that puts a little skip in her step. And she's going to move, let's see here. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Alright, and see if I can force either disadvantage on that next attack or force her to walk into a stupid stun trap. Alright, so that's going to be it for Shadra. Alright, so Whisper is going to bust out her swift bow quite swiftly. And that's going to have an attack of 3 with a range of 4. And she's going to try and finish off that bandit archer that Shadra started on, because she's got this battle goal, be the first to kill end monster during the scenario. So I'm going to see if I can kill that end monster like this. +0 modifier, boom, mother trucker, gone. And she's gonna pull out a smoke bomb or some kind of like I'm gonna say it's a smoke bomb with some kind of grappling. I don't know how this works exactly, but she's gonna do something cool. Maybe it's not the man. There should be some different text for the bottom. I'm sure there's some cool stuff we could add, but some kind of like fire off a lasso. I don't like the idea of a lasso. I really want to go with the grappling hook, but the problem is that would imply some damage of some kind. But anyway, she's going to do some kind of cool roguey thing and pull that sucker to her. And I think I have to try and pull her the full 2 range if I can. And that's fine. I'm just going to pull this gal right through here and go there. And then she gets the stun token and the trap is removed. Stand! What you gonna do now? Okay, now it's the bandit archer's turn, but she's gonna do nothing because she's stunned. So now, end of round. Alright, so now Whisper is gonna go first, and Thief's Knack. Is knack, I mean, you can have a knack for something. Is knack a physical thing too? I don't know, I'll have to look that up sometime. In the meantime, she's gonna get an attack 3, melee attack, and she gets 1 experience out of the deal. So let's see how that goes. Like this. -1, so it's going to be 2 damage on that bandit archer. And she also picks up 1 experience. Slide that up there. 2 damage here. Okay. On to Shadra. After I remember to use my flintlock to loot. Oh no, wait, she's not dead yet. Okay, so I can't use this yet. That was my plan. I was like, I'm I'm gonna take her out and then loot the body. But I won't do that. So let's see. Yeah, I don't know why I thought I could kill her in one hit and then loot the body. Oh well, okay. So now on to Shadra, and she is going to attack with a Flame Strike. With range of 2, 3 damage. I can't use the special ability because there's no fire element in play. But let's see what happens. Oh, nice! So I got 4 damage on that Flame Strike. And that is going to take out this poor little bandit archer who wasn't going to be able to do anything anyway because she was stunned! Now I'll just use the generic movement of 2 on this card to put her right here. Oh, I forgot to put a money token over here, so you can get that at a later time, somebody. She'll end there and pick up that, and then that is the end of the round. Alright, I just noticed something interesting about myself as I was playing this game, getting ready to come into this next room. I started looking at this, the map for what's coming up. And I started thinking about, okay, what's going to be the most optimal cards to play given what's in the next room, and I started reading ahead and like what's going to happen, what doors are going to open, and what's, you know, and I just realized, crap, no, this is not how I want to play this game. In fact, there's a part of me that doesn't even like looking ahead at what's in the next room and trying to kind of factor that in and prepare for that. It just kind of brings on analysis paralysis for me, and I would rather, I already have Mage Knight, which I really enjoy. But I'm not always in the mood for a game like Mage Knight where it's like you're sitting there and you're just staring at your cards and you're just staring at the board quietly, thinking, trying to think ahead, trying to think like 3-4 moves ahead. I have that game in Mage Knight. I don't want that experience here. Now I realize that may be part of the intended experience. And maybe that's, you know, mitigated a bit when you're playing in multiplayer and you have other players that are like, come on, let's keep going, you know, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. I don't have anyone urging me on. But I think what I'm going to do is just rely a little bit more on the advantages I've given myself in kind of like my cheating modifications, and try to just keep the game moving. Try not to give myself maybe more than like 60 seconds to make a decision about what cards I'm going to play. And then be a little bit more reckless and thematic in terms of the choices of the cards that I'm going to play. And just try to get into that rhythm of play, and which is going to fit much more with my desire to experience the theme out of a game like this anyway. And then if I notice that you know, I'm hurting myself strategically by doing that, then I can further give myself some cheats to help balance out. But yeah, that's really what I'd like. Because what you guys don't see is I cut it out. I edit out, excuse me, all of my thinking time, you know. And so, but I want the thinking time to be much shorter than it has been up to this point. So, yeah, I'm just going to start being a little bit more reckless and see what happens. All right, so Whisper's going first, and she's going to move 5 and kick this door open. 1, 2, 3, 4. You open the door to a large crypt littered with coffins. At the back stands your quarry. He fits the description, but there's something previously unnoticed in his eyes, a dark, otherworldly force. Who are you to think you can interrupt the work of the gloom? A dark energy engulfs his hand as he speaks. I will show you what you are dealing with. Alright, so she has one more movement, and she's just gonna go right here. And once again in this room, we've got a bandit archer. So she's like the sidekick, I guess, the right-hand woman, literally, of this guy, the bandit commander. With, let's see, yeah, I guess we don't have, like, energy engulfing any of his hands, but I'm sure he's going to appear in other scenarios, too, so they don't want to pigeonhole him as the energy hand-engulfed guy. But, yeah, really cool, and, oh man, he's got little potions and stuff on him. Love the detail. I hope that's represented in the possessions he leaves behind. Alright, so the bandit archer is going next. She's, let's see here. She's got a penalty to her range, but not to her movement. She's going to move here so she can move 1, 2 spaces. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, no, not to her movement, so she's good there. And then she would ordinarily attack with a range of 3, 1, 2, 3, but she's got a penalty to her range, which is great because she has a boost to her attack, so I really didn't want to get hit with that anyway. All right, moving on. So the bandit commander is up next, and he's got a -2 to his movement, so he can't move quite as much. Just 2 spaces here. 1, 2 to try and get him to attack Whisper, but he normally doesn't have a ranged attack. This time he does. He has a range of 3, but that's not gonna be enough to get either one of my guys. So that is gonna be it for him. All right. So the only thing I'm gonna have Shadra do is really just do a move of 3 to get in here. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm not gonna really have her do anything else. So that's the end of the round. All right. Whisper's first. She is freaking on the move. She's going to go right here. Let's see, 1, 2, yeah. It's weird. I'm still getting used to, not having to worry about staying out of the way of, like, my allies' attacks and stuff. So, I mean, I think I'm just going to move her... gosh. I guess I'll move her right here. Just a little bit closer. And then she's going to be using Backstab, where I get to add +2 to my attack and gain 1 experience when the target is adjacent to none of its allies. So that's going to be a total of 5 damage coming at this elite bandit archer, which I'd like to get out of the way as soon as freaking possible. Let's see what happens here. +1, baby. So that's a total of 6 damage coming her way. Oh my gosh, that is extremely gratifying because that is going to completely take her out. I love it. All right, and let's see here. Who's up next? The boss is up next. So the bandit commander stretches out his arm, crackling with dark energies, and summons a living bones, or like what is it called? It's a living bones. So one of these nasty guys, right there next to Whisper. Thankfully, he at least doesn't do anything else on his turn. Alright, so Shadra is bringing her mystic powers to bear and casting aid from the ether. And specifically summon Mystic Ally. So I get to put an ally on the board that has 2 health, 2 movement, 3 attack damage, and 2 range. I get 2 experience when I do this, so that's pretty nifty. Put this card out here, and then normally you're supposed to use like these tokens, these generic tokens and stuff to represent the Mystic Ally or the summon creature, whatever. I'm going to use this fellow right here from first edition Descent. It's like, I can't remember the name of the creature. I think it's like a wraith or something like that, but that looks suitably like a Mystic Ally to me, so that's going to go down right there in front of me to be my awesome Mystic Buddy. And then I'm also going to cast Frost Armor, which has a range of 3 and attack power of 2. I don't have any elements to take advantage of the little boost and the experience there too. So 1, 2, 3. I can go for that Living Bones though, so I'm going to give that a shot, and we'll see what happens here. 2 times the damage! Freaking love it! Alright, so that's going to be 4 damage coming at the Living Bones. That is not going to be enough crap to take it out, but pretty close, pretty close. All right, summoned creatures don't get a turn on the round that they're summoned, so that's everybody. New round. All right, so both of my characters are taking a long rest, which means that the bad guys are going to take their turns first. So we start with the Living Bones. Living Bones is already conveniently right next to Whisper, so he's going to go ahead and just attack her. He's got an attack power of 1. Let's see how that's modified. Yeah! 2 times the damage. Holy crap. However, Whisper just purchased the Iron Helmet, which says, when attacked, consider any 2 times attack modifier card the enemy draws to be a +0 instead. So yippee freaking skippy. That was a good purchase. Alright, so she takes the 1 point of damage, and then the Bandit Commander is going to be doing special number 1 on his turn, which on his enemy card, this guy's a bit of a beast. I don't think I pulled this out before, but for hit points, he's got 8 times the number of characters. So he's got 16 hit points. He can move 3, although that's that rule is kind of modified by his special ability here. And he's got an attack power of 3. Now, if I draw a one of these cards that says special number 1. Before I drew one that said special number 2. I didn't show that to you guys. But before, that's why he summoned the living bones on that last turn. And now he's going to move to next door and reveal room. And there's more specific instructions in the map for the scenario as to what all that refers to. Each of these doors has a different kind of like letter assigned to them. And so he's going to be jumping over to door A right now with his cool, maybe mystical bandit leaping abilities. He's going to go to this door and open it up to unleash the dangers beyond. And in this case, the dangers beyond are 2 living corpses. These guys are freaking ugly as all get out, like bloated looking zombie type corpses. They got arrows coming out of them. They look a mess, and they're a little bit intimidating too. Let's see, let's look at the stats here. We've got 5 health on these guys. Luckily they're at least normal. We've got 1 movement, so they move slow as you would expect zombies to move, and they've got 3 attack power, so I just don't want them getting anywhere near me, or that could be some big trouble. Alright, so now these living corpses are going to take their turn. Thankfully, they're not moving anywhere. That's really nice. They have an attack +2 and push effect, which isn't going to be able to do anything to me. And then they've got living corpse suffers 1 damage. So I guess these things, ripe as they are, have an expiration date of some kind. So that's, yeah, I don't mind that. Alright, so now it's time for both of my guys to take their actions. But before that, my summoned monster is going to go. And the thing that's just a minor bummer is that you don't actually get to control the monsters that you summon. They operate according to the same automated rules that the regular monsters on the board operate based on. And, I mean, that's fine. So my Mystic ally is actually not going to move anywhere because he doesn't need to in order to do his ranged attack. I don't want to add disadvantage that I don't need to have. So that's going to be 3 attack coming up against this living bones right here, which already has, geez, 4 damage on it, so hopefully this will finish it off. Let's see what happens. Alright, +0 modifier on that. And, so yeah, that's going to take him out. Nice. Clatter clankety clue.